knows my mind racing, and you are the reason. It's another training Thursday. So happy and excited to have you here. How are you doing today? So once you come in, just type in the comments. Let's know how you're doing and where you're watching us from. So let's know how you were doing and where you're watching us from on this beautiful training Thursday. So we're sharing on something very interesting, a topic everyone wants to talk about, yet many shy away from it. We're talking about sex today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. And we'll be good to go in the next 2 minutes. All right. Once you come on live, please let me know if you can see me or hear me clearly. Okay. All right. Amazing. Awesome to be here with you again today on this beautiful training Thursday. Today we're talking about sex. All right. And we're going to be talking about why your spouse, right, is not enjoying sex with you. All right. So I am talking to both wives and I'm talking to husbands as well. All right. And what you can do immediately, right, to correct or to address the situation. All right. This is a topic, like I said earlier, is a topic that many shy away from. Is a subject matter that has led to loads of failures in marriages. All right, it's a subject matter that many shy away from. It's a subject matter that has caused problems or is even causing problems in marriages. All right, and we want to talk about it here today. It's one of one of the ingredients of having a genuinely happy and intimate marriage. Intimacy is not all about sex. However, sex is an aspect of intimacy, and it's very important that as a couple you get this area, you get it right, okay? Because of course, when you're bonded sexually, all right, when you're having a mutually enjoyable and pleasurable sex in your marriage, things would be a lot easier. It would be easier for you to connect. It would be easier for you to to agree on certain things. So there's a whole lot of course that comes with enjoying sex in marriage. And unfortunately, we have many who are not enjoying sex in marriage and they cannot come out or open up to talk about it. Okay, so we are here as your mouthpiece in this community and we will try our best to to demystify the topic or the subject matter, and we hope that you would learn one or two things that would help and boost intimacy in your marriage. I can see someone live. Please, if you're here and you can see me and hear me, please let me know in the comments. Type in the comments. Let's know where you're watching us from, how you're doing, and if you can see me and hear me. Okay? So, there are many reasons why you may not be enjoying sex in marriage, and I'm going to, focus on the men as well as the women. All right. So, for women or wives, come and hear what your husbands are saying. All right. So, women, your husbands are saying that you are staying too straight, all right, on the bed, all right, or wherever you're having sex. You're staying too straight, there's no movement, you're just staying like a log of wood, and it doesn't, give them the ginger that they want. All right. So women, I'm going to list the problems or the challenges, and then I would give a two-part solution, that can address all of these issues. Okay. So if you're here, thank you. I can see someone online. I can't see your comments. So just type in the comments. Let me know that you can see me and you can hear me clearly. Okay. And let me know also if you're getting value as I go along. All right. Okay. I can see Rabiu Adetola. Awesome. Great to see you, Akimboni Adetola. How are you doing? And how is your family? Yes, you can see me and hear me clearly. Beautiful. Okay. So wives, your husbands are saying that you're staying like a log of wood, on the bed, and they can't. It's not giving them the ginger that they need. All right. So that is one of the challenges. All right. So husbands, don't be too happy yet because I'm coming to you. All right. I'm coming to you. So we just start with the women. All right. So that is one. And another thing is that they said that you are staying too mute, right? You're staying too mute during sex. You do not talk, you don't moan, you don't say whether you're enjoying it, you're just there. All right. So that is another challenge, all right, that husbands are facing with their wives. All right. If there's any husband here, okay, please just let me know that you're feeling me. Okay. So that is one. That is two. Then the third is that you wives are not initiating sex. All right. You're not initiating sex, and your husbands want to feel wanted as well. They want to feel wanted. They want to know that that my wife is actually even feeling this thing. It's not just that we are having sex for the sake of having sex. All right. So they are saying that wives are not initiating sex. Hi, Jacqueline. Great to see you. How are you doing today? I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. So that wives, you're not initiating sex. All right. So sex is not just there for the man to initiate. It is a two-way thing. All right. It is not just for the woman or the man to enjoy. All right. Or to it's for both parties. All right. And the more both parties are in deep connection with each other, the more they would enjoy sexual intimacy. Okay. So that's three. I've mentioned three. The first is that you're staying too straight on the bed. You're not moving. You're not, showing that you're actually enjoying it. And of course, you may actually not be enjoying it. So we're still coming to that. All right. So that's one. Two is that you're staying mute. You're not moaning. You're not talking during sex. You're not talking during. I know many people will come back to watch this replay. I need you to join me live so that we can address this thing and talk. All right. But if you're catching this replay, thank you so much for joining. You can also type in the comments and type hashtag replay so that I know that you came here to learn a lesson. Okay. So that's three, that you do not initiate sex. You do not initiate sex. And the fourth is that there's just that there's no desire. There's no there's something we call arousal disorder. All right, so there's no desire. So I don't want to. It's kind of partly related to low libido, but sometimes it's not even low libido. It has to do with, it's just a mindset. All right, it has to do with the mind. Okay, so they are saying that husbands are saying that their wives are not, they don't show that desire. All right, they don't show that desire. And I really want to, that's why I'm listing the issues and the challenges, so that we can, also address it. All right, and the fifth is that, sometimes, you just leave your body anyhow, your hair anyhow, body odor. Maybe you just finished cooking and you didn't, tidy up, you didn't clean up, wash your hands, or it could even be your armpit, or even your vagina area. All right, not tidying it up, caring for it, or okay, someone calls it honey pot. Okay, so you're not tidying up that area, and that is also a challenge for husbands. So sometimes it pulls them away, or even if they come around, they just do it for the sake of, let's just do this. But that connection, that bond, that intimacy, that enjoyment, that pleasure, is would be missing. Okay. uh Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's five for the wives. There are many more, but I can't share everything now because of time. So that we can address, we can have time to also address some of these. Okay. For the husbands, come and hear what your wives are saying. So if you were already happy that she's already saying yes, what was on my mind, come and hear what your wife is saying about you. All right. So for the husbands, the wives are saying that you just want to rush in. Okay, you just want to rush in, no time to create for there's no you don't create time for foreplay. You don't engage in foreplay activities, so you just want to rush in. And when I say rush in, I mean penetrate. Just put in your penis, and that's it. Get on with the business. Okay, that's one reason your wives are not enjoying sex with you, because there is no foreplay. Okay, and the second is that you also, just as you're rushing in, you also want to rush out. Okay, so you want to rush out quickly. All right, so even after having sex, you don't stay, you don't take your time to still caress her body, to still stay on with her, to still talk, or to just treasure the moment. You just get on, get up, and get up to the other activity. Like, okay, we just finished one activity, can we move to the next? All right, so that is also one reason your wife is not enjoying sex with you. Another is that sometimes you experience premature ejaculation, so you quickly come, right? So you quickly come. That is also, and sometimes when you quickly come, your wife also may not have attained orgasm, may not have even gotten there. All right, and so they don't get to enjoy the moment, they don't get to enjoy sex. All right, and to be very honest, orgasm is something that every couple should work at, to ensure that they are actually enjoying orgasm in marriage. Okay, orgasm when having sex, it's a beautiful experience, and every wife needs to experience that. Husbands need to experience that as well. All right, and then another reason is that there is that for some they have said that you are too hyper. All right, so you are too hyper sexually. you're too hypersexually, and some of these, I mean, these things that I'm saying may not actually, there are things that you can actually work on, all right, in terms of premature ejaculation. You can, try to be more, learn to be more like discipline yourself. Is control, right? It's like self control, like, just discipline yourself. And the more you practice it, the better you become. Okay, the more you practice it, the better you become. So, and of course, it's not just premature ejaculation. I'm just mentioning that there are other kinds of ejaculation, the retarded ejaculation, and that's where, you're not able to attain the erection that is able that is suitable for intercourse. All right. So yeah, so the other part is the high libido, like you're, too hyper for them, and they just want to rest. They're not, always in the mood to, every time for you is sex every day. It must be every day, sometimes twice a day. I hope I'm not exaggerating. All right, so yeah, so that's for that. And then of course the other aspect is, body odor, sweat, just being rough, being untidy is also another thing that puts your wife off, all right, and doesn't make her enjoy sex with you. So this is an aspect that, this is another aspect for husbands. Okay. And of course there's what we call, there different dysfunctions, right? We'll be sharing that at a later date. Sexual dysfunctions, all right, which can, be traceable to medical reasons or psychological reasons and all of that. But we will talk about that at probably another training Thursday, or we can do a part two next week. All right. So I've mentioned some of the challenges, not all of the challenges. I've mentioned some of them, the reasons why your spouse is not enjoying sex with you. And like I always share in this community, communication is paramount. Communication is key. So I said I was going to share a two-part solution, right? And the first is, I'm talking now, I'm already sharing one of the parts, right? And communication and understanding is very, very important. If you must enjoy sex in marriage, you have to communicate. You have to share with your partner, because if you're not communicating, how does your spouse know that you're not enjoying sex in the first place? Your spouse may just as well assume that you're fine, okay? You need to communicate. And of course, you don't even wait for your spouse to even tell you whether he or she is enjoying it. You can go ahead and ask your partner, how am I faring sexually, right? How are we doing sexually? Are you enjoying sex with me in this marriage? All right. So communication is very, very important. If you are not already having sex discussions, because to be very honest, there are many marriages that, sex discussions or discussions around sex is a taboo, is a no-go area. And so for singles who are about to get married, I encourage you to talk about sex, talk about it before you get married. And not just talk about sex, talk about every other area, because sex doesn't just stand in isolation, right? There are many other attachments and connections to sex. All right, your emotion is connected to sex, how you view life, how you communicate, how you relate, and there's so many other things connected to sex. So you should ensure that you are talking, you are communicating. You need to build friendship, and this leads me to the next. All right, after communication, of course, communication builds friendship. The more you become closer. The more you talk, the more you become closer. And I think it was last week I shared on communication. And I said I need to ensure. I'm so sorry if you can hear any noise. There's a construction going on around me. So I'll just quickly see how I can not distracted. All right. So communication is important. And of course, communication leads to friendship. The more you would build friendship with each other, and so it's easier for you to share. It's easier for you to talk about sex. It's easier for you to moan during sex. It's easier for you to say how you want it during sex or even before sex. All right, and of course, openness and transparency. Of course, openness and transparency. This aspect is very important. If you're not open, if you're hiding certain information, or you are hurt and not letting your partner know, then there is no, it would affect you also sexually. There is no how you would, especially for women, because it's a little more difficult or challenging to detach sex from every other aspect or every other area in the marriage. Okay, so you need to ensure that you're open with your partner. All right, be open, be transparent enough, share what is going on with you. All right, because this can also enhance intimacy. This can deepen your connection and deepen your intimacy. Okay, so do not last week we shared on the fact that couples should share with each other. Don't go and build friendship in another person, or a close bond or friendship with another person other than your partner. And I'm not saying you should not have other friends, but I'm saying that you should build friendship. There, you should not confide. You should be able to confide in your spouse. All right, because we have marriages where husbands are confiding in other women outside, where wives are confiding in other men outside. All right, and so it is very important that because the more you do this, the more you detach from your partner, the more you're detaching, the more you're detaching. And so it is very important that you are open, you are transparent. If there is anything stopping this or hindering this, then you should talk about it. And if you cannot talk about it, then it is time for you to seek counseling. It is time for you to go for counseling, so that you can improve your sexual intimacy. You can improve intimacy in every other area, because like I said, it's not, sex cannot stand in isolation. If you're if you're going through problems, maybe financially, it can affect your sexual life. All right, and so it is very important that you address the issues from its roots. Okay, so yeah, so I've talked about communication, friendship, and openness. Communication, friendship, and openness. So that's the first part of the solution. And until this is established, the second part would not, you won't be able to go so far with the second part that I'm about to share. So please ensure that you work on your communication, you work on building your friendship, you work on being open with each other, hang out with each other, have gist about everything happening with you. All right, take your partner out. Okay, and from there you would get to talk more. You will get to understand your partner better. You'll be able to speak your partner's love language. What is the language that your spouse understands? You need to learn to speak it, and from that your partner will see that, oh, my spouse is actually speaking my love language. And then it will make your partner or your spouse feel loved, and in that process he or she would be it will be easier for him or her to share with you whatever is going on with them. All right, so that is the first part of the solution. And the second part is the aspect of preparation, the aspect of exploring each other's bodies, the aspect of talking during sex. In my book, Cruise to Cloud 9, I've shared some of these, and if you have not gotten it, you need to get it, so that you can learn and boost your intimacy. You can begin to have pleasurable and mutually satisfying and pleasurable sex. All right, because like I said earlier, sex is not just for one person to enjoy, it is for both parties. That is how God designed it. And if it is only one party that is enjoying it, then you still have work to do. All right, you have work to do. So ensure that you get that book so that you can, begin to jumpstart your sexual intimacy. Okay, so the second part of the solution is for you to prepare. All right, for you to prepare to for you to explore each other, and for you to talk before, during, and after sex. And of course, it's only the intentional that can make this happen. It is only intentional husbands and intentional wives that can actually make this happen, because it's not everyone or every couple that sees that they need to work on their sex life, all right, in marriage. Okay, it's not everyone that sees that need, and even some that see the need, it's not all of them that still go out to seek knowledge, or to seek counsel, or to seek possible ways to resolve, these challenges. All right, so you need to prepare before having, before sex. All right, and like I said, you have to be intentional. It starts from the mind. Sex is a mind. It starts from the mind. The experience that you want to have sexually, you can first create it in your mind. Create it in your mind. And of course, if there are hurts in your mind, if you are having bitterness, resentment towards your partner, or regarding an issue in your marriage, it will be difficult for you to enjoy sex. So this is why, like I said earlier, that first part solution is very important. You need to communicate about whatever hurt or whatever bitterness or resentment you have towards your partner. And recall that I think it was 2 Thursdays ago where we shared about emotions. We talked about the fact that repressed anger, lead to stress. It can affect your body. How you feel emotionally, becomes how you feel physically. So ensure that you're not repressing anger, you're not repressing, you don't have bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness towards your partner, or towards other people. Right? You need to settle the mind. I think I was frozen for a bit. Okay, I think I'm back. All right. So ensure that you settle the mind aspect. Okay. Create the atmosphere you want to experience. Start doing it in your mind. Okay, and for women, of course, sometimes you're too tired, and sex is the last thing on your mind. You can create the experience. All right, you can begin to, if you know that, okay, you're going to be very stressed, you can begin to, what's the word, there's a word I'm looking for. You can, mm, you can delegate. Yes, that's the word. You can delegate. All right, so there are some things, if there are some things that would make you more stressed, you can delegate. Okay, delegate to people or outsource some things. All right, so that you can actually have time with your husband and enjoy sex. Okay, so yeah, so ensure that you delegate, you create that atmosphere in your mind. Tell yourself that I'm going to enjoy sex, all right, with my husband, and he's also going to enjoy it, and we're going to have a beautiful experience. Because when you enjoy sex sexually, when you enjoy sex in your marriage, it makes you closer. It brings this bond. It makes you more united, and of course, when you're united, then the sky is your limit in marriage. You would attain heights that you never even imagined. Okay, um so that's for the mind. Ensure that you create the atmosphere in your mind, and then create the atmosphere physically. So now translate it from your mind into the physical. So if there's something that you need to reset in your room, ensure that you reset it so that you can, enjoy sex. Okay, if you need to change your sheets, your bed sheets, then by all means do that. If you need to put some scent, some aroma around your sheets, or even on your body, then do that. If you need to take a warm bath before sex, I mentioned earlier, in one of the challenges, where there's a complaint about body odor. Okay, body odor, and untidiness, all right? And so this is an aspect that we need to, excuse me, this is an aspect that you need to put into consideration. All right, some of you have books and clothes scattered all over your bed, scattered all over the room. It is now time to go and declutter so that you can create that atmosphere. All right, and of course it doesn't have to be on the bed or mattress alone. There are other, I'm still getting to that, and we're going to be talking about exploring. Okay, so for preparation, I talked about the mind, I talked about creating the atmosphere and the environment from your mind, and then translating it to the physical. All right, and of course even your dressing. Okay, your dressing is important, how you look is important. And when we're talking about how you look, it's not just for the women, it's not just for the wives. All right, husbands, you also need to look good for us. Yeah. Amen, somebody. All right, so husbands, look good, for your wives as well, for your drawers and boxers. Ensure that it is very sexy. Ensure that it is not torn, it's not old. Okay, so wives, I'm also saying this to you: get lovely, lovely night wears or day wears, or whatever it is that can also help your husband even more, make you more attractive. Make you more attractive to your husband. All right, then you can also sext, right? Sext your husband or your wife. All right, before sex. So that's preparation, so you're intentional about it. All right, so you don't just come from Adam or from nowhere to just, oh yeah, it's time for sex. Okay, there are romantic ways to go about these things. All right, so you can send a text message to your spouse. All right, during the day, appreciate your spouse's body. Just put those romantic blues, and tell your spouse how much you can't wait to have him or her. So that way you are creating that atmosphere already. All right, and of course it will be very easy to connect when it's now time for sex. All right, so the other aspect I want to talk about is explore. All right, explore each other's bodies. Okay, explore, be experimental. All right, explore each other's bodies. All right, and it is in fact, that's what other way to enjoy sex than to explore each other's bodies, than to explore other styles. Don't just be used to one position. You can try another position. There's no pressure. It is both of you, right? And so that's why you need to communicate. So because when you're communicating, you know what you need to do, to improve your sexual your sexual intimacy. All right, and so it's very important that you attempt different styles, attempt another position. Don't just stay stuck to the missionary. Don't just stay stuck to the doggy or the different styles. All right, so there are many styles that you can experiment on your own with your partner, right? Not with blues or porn or a movie or whatever it is. Okay, so explore and experiment each other's bodies, try other places. Somebody shared, there was a question I asked sometime, I think last week. Somebody shared how places, how to, I think it was a question about how to enjoy sex or something, and she was like, you should try other places. She made mention of pool, the pool, different places I can't even remember right now. Okay, but that is very important. Try other places. You mustn't always be in the bedroom, so long as you have privacy. All right, because that could be another challenge. So ensure that you can be intentional about it. And being intentional means you can put your kids to sleep early. It can mean going out of your house, like staying out, like spending the night in a hotel or somewhere. So there are ways to go about these things. And of course, it is if you are intentional. When you're intentional, you will definitely reap the rewards of your intentionality. All right, so try other places, try the sitting room, the living room, try the the bathroom, all right, try the bathroom, try the kitchen. Okay, but make sure that you check your food though, so that there's no food on fire at that time. All right, just teasing. Okay, so the whole idea is for you to just add spice, add spice to your sex life, and it is very, very important. If you are not enjoying sex, these are things that you need to begin to do, all right, to add more spice to your sexual life. So don't just make it rigid or rigorous, okay, like this is, or monotonous, yes, or make it um ster- don't there's a word, is it stereotype now? All right, so please and please, that is another aspect you explore. Exploration, you find that also in my book, Cruise to Cloud Nine. All right, then another aspect is talking. So I call it the pet code to a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. All right, so where the P is for prepare and the E is for explore, the T is for talk. So ensure that you're talking. You talk before, you talk during, and you talk after. It is very important. Communication is important. All right. So there are many things that you can say. You can appraise, how you're doing sexually even before you have sex, how the last one was, or how you would want it this time. Okay, and of course you can also, you can moan. That was also one of the challenges, that wives don't moan. Wives don't, give those sounds, right? When having sex with their husbands, you're not giving that sound, you're not moaning, you're not, saying how much you're enjoying it. You're just there, and your partner is okay, or maybe she's not, maybe she is okay, just is not also getting the ginger. All right, husbands to moan. Okay, you need to also moan, and it's not just when you come, all right, because that coming comes with, a natural, would I say natural morning now. Okay, so but even before you come, let your wife know, that you enjoy what is happening, that you enjoy a body, that you appreciate a body. All right, and like I said earlier, it is not just sex. It doesn't start with sex. Okay, it starts with communication. It starts with, talking about what's up with the both of you. It starts with forgiving each other, not having bitterness. It starts with speaking each other's love language, okay, appreciating each other, caring for each other, reducing tasks and burdens, from each other. All right, so there's a whole lot of preparatory work to be done before you can say that yes, you are enjoying a mutually pleasurable and satisfying sex. Okay, so it's not just for one person, it's for the both parties. Okay, so say how you're feeling during sex. Talk about it. Talk about it. If your spouse is too hard, or is going too hard, you can tell him or tell her to, be gentle. Okay, so just feel free to talk about it. And of course, we still go back to the first part of the solution, which is communication, friendship, and openness. Communication, friendship, and openness. You need to ensure that you're building this. So we'll be wrapping up. We'll be rounding off now. If you have any question, if you're still here, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any question, to have it. And if you have any challenge whatsoever with any of these things that we have talked about today, then you may want to, one, get the book Cruise to Cloud Nine, and of course you can also seek counsel. All right, seek counseling, go for professional counseling. There's a portion in the scriptures that say that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So I would liken it to also marriages. Many marriages are perishing for lack of knowledge. There is knowledge. There are things that you can do. There are things that you can do better to be able to enjoy sex better. So the question is, how intentional intentional are you? How intentional will you be to learn these things? How intentional will you be to improve on these things? Okay, so that will be all for today. In conclusion, we talked about the challenges, why husbands are not enjoying sex with their wives, and why wives are not enjoying sex with their husbands. They mute, they don't talk, during sex. Wives are just stay straight. They don't move their body, they're just there, like a log of wood. All right. Some also, wives prefer, just a particular position, and they don't want to, try new things, and wives also don't initiate, they wait for their husbands to initiate, and husbands want their wives to also initiate. It makes them feel loved, it makes them feel wanted. Then, of course, there is the odor, untidiness, not being kept, properly kept. Okay, and for husbands also, there is no foreplay. They don't engage in foreplay activities. You just want to rush in, and then when you even rush in, you want to just rush out. You're not there. You're not there to even know whether your wife has attained orgasm, or your wife is even enjoying the sex. And then sometimes, even when you rush out too quickly. Okay, and that's where we have, premature ejaculation, and then sometimes you're hyper. Okay, and there are many things that they're natural. Maybe I would have to do a part two of these. Okay, because there are ways you can resolve these low, either you have low libido and or high libido. All right, there are ways to manage it so that both of you are not stressed. You're not stressed out because of sex. Okay, in marriage. All right. Then we also talked about body odor. All right, so that is also an aspect. Maybe you need to shave, you need to use some perfumes, maybe you need to watch out for what you're wearing, so all of that is very important. And we talked about the two-part solution, where the first part is the communication, friendship, and openness. So you have to be able to communicate, you have to share with each other openly, and then be transparent, be open, say it as it is, build friendship, ask questions, hang out, speak your partner's love language. Okay, and once that is sorted, once that is in place, you can now move to the second part of the solution, which is, of course, you prepare. Your mind is now prepared. You're intentional. You create the atmosphere from your mind. You now translate it to the physical. The environment is well set. The atmosphere is well set. You're well dressed. You're well, you send messages. You text your spouse. You send messages even during the day or at night or whatever, whenever time. It just depends on your particular situation. All right, because there's some people that only go to work at night, they're at home during the day. Okay, so sex does not always have to be in the night. All right, yeah, so that's the preparation. And the exploration, or the exploring, is that you need to explore each other's bodies, attempt other styles, attempt other positions, explore each other, get to know each other very well. Okay, you can try other places, the bathroom, so long as there's privacy. Okay, then that would help you a lot. And of course, the talking aspect is so important, right? That's the T part, and that is talk before, talk during, and talk after. Okay, so it is important that you share with each other, so that you can know whether you're enjoying it. Your husband or your wife can know where to touch. If you're not talking, how would they know? All right, you can of course call your husband or your wife names, lovely names, baby, honey, sweetheart, not just the name, Florence, or who is watching me now, Jacqueline. All right, so they're sweet names that you can call your partner or your spouse during sex, and even after sex, even when it's not sex. Okay, or not just mention the first name, or mama this or baba that. All right. So make it interesting, and the ball lies with you. The ball is in your court. All right. And I hope that I've been able to, share value with you today. There will be one or two things that you can pick, to begin to do and practice in your marriage from now, from today. Okay, so even if it's the sexting one, try it, attempt it today. If it is that you need to change your bed sheet and get a beautiful one, try it today. If it's that you need to hang out more often with your partner so that you can build friendship, so that you can, if it's that you need to also gist and talk, whether in the room, in the sitting room, wherever, chat, you need to also do that. All right. So that is what an intentional husband and an intentional wife will do to boost genuine happiness and intimacy in their marriage. Okay, so if you have any challenges whatsoever regarding all that we have shared today, and you are finding it difficult in your marriage, then please, by all means, speak up. All right, you don't have to postpone your happiness, you don't have to delay your happiness, you don't have to suffer in silence. There is knowledge, there is help, available for you. So the question is, would you get it today? Would you get that help that is available for you today? Whatever you're going through sexually, it is not peculiar to you. There are many who are going through the same thing. So you are not alone. However, you cannot stay there. You need to you cannot stay in that maybe you're wallowing in self pity, or you're wallowing in just self damnation, or you're just there and you're just indifferent, you're not happy. All right, you don't have to stay in that state. You need to speak up and get help. All right, and you can start by getting Cruise to Cloud9 today. So type in the video comment that you are interested in Cruise to Cloud9, and we'll reach out to you. You can also send a message to 080-226-44900. That's +23480-226-44900, and we would reach out and get back to you. So thank you so much for being here on this training Thursday. I know some people will also catch the replay. As you catch the replay, as you watch the replay, please type in the comments and let me know that you came here to learn. All right. Like I said, many shy away from this topic. And it's well, it's just what it is. All right. However, many want to learn, many want to learn about it, so they go quietly, silently, or just find a way to get gist about sex, or to all right. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's been wonderful, it's been lovely, on being with you on this training Thursday, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Rabiu. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for being here. All right. So please try and invite other people also to this community so that they can learn as you are learning. So I come your way next time. In the absence of no question, keep learning, keep loving, and keep growing. Bye for now.